Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you, I'm making a very interesting video for you guys. I'm going to show you how to make this mini wedding cake. Like, it is so pretty and so cute, and it is very tiny. Let me show you how tiny it is. It is double tiered, but yeah, this is my kitchen spoon, and see, it is not, sorry, the spoon is bad. It's not taller than my kitchen spoon. See, my kitchen spoon is taller than it. Okay, so it is very cute and very pretty, and I did like a monogram thing down here. So everything you need to make this cake, I'm going to put a link in the description box for you in case you want to buy. So if you want to make maybe a mini cake for a mini wedding cake, or like a quarantine wedding, if you're having a quarantine wedding, this is a perfect video for you. And it is especially beginner friendly because I explain every step you need to get this perfect finish right here. And for you to get the things you need to make it, they're very easy. All you need to do is buy some whipped cream. I'm going to list them in the comments in the description box so you can buy them and know how to do that. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make this pretty wedding cake. It's so cute. Okay, so let's get started. Yeah. Okay, so let me wear my gloves. I have gloves right here. Okay, so for this cake, I bought some mini pans. Let me show you guys before we get started. So what you want to make sure you do is to buy these mini pans. This is 4 inches. No? Yeah. This is 3 inches and this is 2 inches in diameter. Yeah? Oh, don't I know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, this is 4 and this is 3. Forgive me. So when you go to the store and convert inches to centimeters, so you can, in case maybe you have a centimeter rule or something. So this is 4 inches and this is 3 inches. So all you have to do is buy a 4-inch pan and a 3-inch pan. So that way you don't have to be shaving your cake or anything. It's going to give you this really cute, perfect double tier cake, and just very small. See how small it is? Oh, my hand can cover it. My hand is really small, so okay, so let's get started. And I already baked my cakes in advance. The reason why I'm not showing you guys how to bake or recipe in this video is because generally on my channel I don't really give recipes, yeah, except for buttercream and stuff, because I feel like there are lots of recipes on YouTube that you can watch, and maybe there are loads of recipes, but like I'm going to be showing you guys how to do basic things and how to do them like very easily, like complex designs but very easily. And I already baked the cake, red velvet and vanilla, both of them. So we're going to be decorating that today. So first things first, yeah, let me wear my gloves because I'm not going to be eating this. If I was going to eat this cake alone then, maybe I don't need to. So I'm not going to be eating this cake alone, so I should be clean and clean. Oh guys, now, okay, no. I was excited to tell you guys that like now I'm at 5,000 subscribers and I'm excited. Now I have 5,000 subscribers, guys. Like how? Like how the fuck? How? Yeah, I've been putting in the work. Like I've been working really hard at this channel, so I hope you guys can see it. Okay, so today we're going to be using these 2 boards, and we're going to be using 2 different boards. The reason is because we want to be able to transfer one cake to the other. So for this one, you're going to need a mini board, yeah? Just small, so that when you're transferring, it will be easy to lift. So this is a little bit bigger than the cake. So I'm going to cut it. So guys, I needed to do a voiceover because if I keep talking and working, this video would be too long and you don't want a too long video. Okay, so I already baked some red velvet and vanilla cake, and I baked the small cake, the 3 inches to be red velvet and vanilla, and the 4 inches to be just vanilla. So for this kind of cake, you can use maybe those cake mixes, those box mixes, yeah, if you don't know how to bake. So if you don't know how to bake, or you've never baked before, or even if you baked before, you're not really good at decorating, I'm making this video specifically for you because I'm going to be explaining everything I'm doing step by step. So what you want to first do is make sure you slice your cake as evenly as possible. Yeah, it might not be as even as you want, but make sure you try to get it as even as possible, because these ones are a lot easier to slice because they are very small, because they're mini cakes, so it's easier for you to slice it and get even layers basically. Okay, so I already made my whipped cream. We're going to be decorating this cake with some whipped cream, or you can use buttercream if you want. And if you want this whipped cream recipe that is so stable and very perfect to work with, it doesn't melt in heat, or regardless of what temperature you're using it at, it doesn't melt. It is very stable and perfect. So click on the link above here, you're going to see that. So if you click on me, you click on that. Okay, so as you guys can see, I already cut out a mini board. Yeah, you can use a small cardboard for this. You want it to be slightly smaller than the diameter of your cake. This is going to be for the cake on top. Yes, the numerator. Yeah, this is going to be for the tier on top, and that's because when you want to lift your cake and place it on the other one, it will be easier, and the thing you're using to lift, maybe your spatula or whatever it is, won't be dipping into actual cake. It will be touching that small board underneath your cake, if that makes sense. So you can cut it out of cardboard or anything you like. Okay, so you want to layer your cake with some whipped cream, yeah, and make sure the whipped cream does not get to the edges of the cake. You want to just put it in the middle and spread it as much as you can. The reason is because if it gets to the edges of your cake, by the time you frost your cake, you're going to be seeing bulges once you're done decorating your cake, and you don't want there to be bulges in your mini wedding cake. You can also make this as like maybe an engagement cake for you and your spouse, or maybe just a laugh cake, or whatever. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so once you are done torting the cake, like placing the layers, for this cake, we're not going to be doing a crumb coat because it is very small. It's like the size of my hand, like my both fists. It's very tiny, so it is easier for you to just do all of it at once. So what you want to do is, you need a lot of cream for this recipe. Normally you can use around maybe 600 grams of cream to 100 grams of icing sugar, but for this one I'm going to be using, for both of them of course, if that can do the whole cake, but for this one I whipped up 800 grams because I wanted there to be excess. Yeah, and the reason why is because if you need to put a lot of cream, as much as possible. You're still going to scrape most of it away, but putting a lot of cream initially makes your work easier, and that way you won't get crumbs in your cake even though you don't do a crumb coat. I don't know, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so you want to put a lot of cream. Just keep putting wherever you think there is space for you to put, and then put as much as you can. So what you want to do is use a scraper. If you don't have a scraper, before you start this, I'm going to put the link in the description box below so you can buy a scraper. You can buy an acrylic one like this, or you can buy a metal one, regardless of which one. Depends on which one you prefer, of course. You can buy any one. So the things you need for this video, I'm going to put in the description box below. Like this scraper, it is very nice. And what you want to make sure you do is make sure the bottom of your scraper, the straight line, is touching the board of your cake completely. The reason is because if you do that, that way your cake will be upright. Make sure the bottom is touching the cake completely. Okay, so if you want another, like, what am I saying? Anyways, okay, what you want to do next is to clean the top of your cake. Just scrape off the top, the excess that went to the top, and then now we're going to do the bottom layer. Okay, so you're going to tot it like you did the first cake here, and then you're going to put cream in the middle, like in between the slices. Okay, that went in my mouth. Oh, that was nasty. Anyways, so what you want to do is to spread some of that cream, yeah, and then spread it. Don't let it get too much to the edges, like I said initially. And then you're going to place the next layer on top, and then the next layer, and then you're going to do, like, you're going to put the cream around. Like I said initially, you want to put as much cream as possible. Just latter it, put as much as possible. Like wherever you think there is space, put a little bit more. Wherever you think there is space, put a little bit more. That was why we made excess cream. For this recipe, we used for this cake, for both of them, we used 800 grams of cream and 200 grams of icing sugar. Yeah, normally 600 grams of cream will be enough, but for you to do this, especially as a beginner, it is best you like have more than enough cream. Like excess cream, you're still going to scrape half of it off, of course, but like excess cream makes it easier to work with. So what you want to do is put your cake scraper on top of your board, and make sure the bottom of the cake scraper is touching every part, like touching the board completely. That way it helps your cake to be upright. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Let me explain what I'm saying again. So once you put enough cream around your cake, what you want to do is put your cake scraper on top of the board. Yes, like that, and make sure it is touching, it is not bending, it is not slanty or anything. You're not bending your hand. The bottom of your scraper is touching completely on top of the cake board. That way your cake is upright. You don't need to be measuring it or anything. The shape of your scraper, make sure it is upright. So once you're done with that, you want to take a clean sponge and then scrape some cream and then wipe the sponge, the knife, the spatula on the sponge, basically. What am I saying? And that's all you have to do. So you're going to take the other cake that you just made and then you're going to lift it. You can lift it with 2 knives, you can lift it with 2 spatulas. Just make sure you lift it with 2 things that are flat that can go underneath it and lift it. Yeah, that's what you want to do. And you want to make sure you put it in the middle. Don't be like me. I wasn't paying enough attention because I was gisting, so it wasn't in the middle. And once you try to push it, you're going to enjoy your cake the more. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like, you're going to so you want to make sure it's in the middle. You need to be careful and take your time and make sure it's in the middle. So I'm going to show you how to fix that mess right now. So take some excess cream. Yeah, this is why we made excess cream. Yeah, okay, so take a little bit more and then patch those parts, and then I'm going to show you how to scrape. So when you want to scrape, make sure you take your scraper and make sure it is just touching the top of the bottom cake while touching the sides of the top cake, because you don't want to mistakenly scrape off the cream you put on top of the bottom cake while trying to scrape the sides of the top cake. Oh, that was a mouthful. I hope that makes a little sense. Do you understand? See what I'm doing? I'm just making sure the scraper touches the top cake but slightly the bottom of the bottom cake, like the top of the bottom cake. That way you won't scrape off the cream you use the cream to put on top of the bottom cake. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to you, just maybe rewind this and watch it a couple of times. You want to be careful so you don't scrape too much cream off of the bottom cake. Do you understand? That's what I'm trying to talk about. Yes, English is not my first language. Anyways, so now the next thing, the major trick I like to use for whipped cream, especially for beginners, if you're not used to smoothing, is to take a food brush. It doesn't have to be a food brush, it can be maybe those brushes. You can just make sure you've not used it for anything else. Yeah, but it's best if it's a food brush, and then put it in some water and then try to go around your cake. That way, to give you these concentric lines around your cake that will hide blemishes and imperfections in your cake, if that makes sense. And then to give it some texture, of course, and make it look extra pretty. So that's why you're using this. So I hope you have a food brush at home. If you don't have a food brush, maybe you should buy a food brush. It's very cheap. It's maybe less than $1. I'm going to put the link for you to buy all of the things you need in the description box below. So we're going to be using artificial flowers for this. I'm going to be using some artificial flowers and some dried flowers. You can start to use fresh flowers if you like. Just go to the florist and buy some flowers and just place on your cake. You don't have to buy this exact one. You don't have to buy roses or anything. Just place it how you want, but make sure you add leaves, because what that does is it adds dimension and originality to your cake. There are no flowers without leaves, so make sure you buy some flowers and add some leaves to it. But in this case, I'm not going to be using leaves. I'm going to be using some dried flowers to give it some dimension. Yeah, that was why I added green. So I'm going to be piping some, I took a piping bag and put some whipped cream inside and piped and cut the tip a little bit and piping a monogram. So Dami is going to be wearing Dami in this video because my name is Dami and I'm wearing Dami. Okay, I'm wearing myself. Do you understand? Okay, so that's what we're doing. So I'm writing D and D. Yes. So once we are done with that, depending on what your name is, of course, you're not going to write Dami and Dami. You're going to write your name with your spouse's name. And then I'm going to take some edible gold dust and then I'm going to highlight that so it will show through, so it won't be just all white and blend into the cake. So once I'm done highlighting that, I'm going to take the same edible paint. This is edible gold paint with just a brush and some vodka. I'm going to, if you want to buy this really pigmented edible gold paint, I'm going to put the link in the description box below. For everything you need for this cake, basically, I'm going to put in the description box below. And this is not all you're going to be using the gold for. You're going to be also using it to highlight your flowers, because that way it makes the cake come together a little bit more, because it won't just be there are different parts that are not coming together on the cake. And apart from that, you're going to be splashing some of it on your cake to give it some, umph. I don't know. I don't know what umph is, but I saw it in a movie and it was really cool. Umph. It just makes the cake more interesting. So what you have to do is just take your brush with some gold color and just splash it on. It gives it this other this really pretty, I don't know. It's very easy. This design is basically very easy. It took me this cake took me like 1 hour to decorate. So, and see how pretty it is. I said to add some gold stones, or you can add some chocolate to yours, or I took some chocolate balls and just painted it gold, and that was all I did. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're going to try it out, please give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and send me a picture on Instagram if you try it out. I hope you like this video and it's useful to you, especially as a beginner. So thank you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you, and see you next time.